My walks along the Thames Path, one of the UK's national trails, spanned 5 years. I started in 2003 at the source and finished in 2007 at the Thames Barrier. Altogether I did 15 days walking and covered 207 miles. The 2003 walk was about 2.5 days of walking in 3 sections. First from the Thames Head to Cricklade, then to Lechlade and finally to Newbridge, a total of just under 45 miles. I left home around 6:45 to catch the 7:28 from East Grinstead to Victoria, then by tube to Paddington, finally reaching Kemble around 11:30. So that was nearly half the day over before I started. But I soon reached the official source of the river at Thames Head, about 1.8 miles from Kemble. This was marked by a stone plaque, but the weather had been so dry that there wasn't a drop of water to be seen anywhere. Here I am, finally on my way out of Kemble. The actual source of the river is disputed, but most people regard it as a spring in the Cotswold Hills, marked by this inscribed block. It was almost 1:30 before I saw any water at all, and that was short-lived. The first running water was just before 3 o'clock at a place called Freeth Wood near the gravel pit, but by the time I reached the pretty village of Ashton Cairns, I was at last walking along the early River Thames. Here's the church at Cricklade, a mile or so away. It was well after 6 when I arrived at Cricklade, and I had great trouble finding somewhere to stay for the night. This pub, the Red Lion, was full, and the White Lion further up the road didn't do accommodation. Eventually, after phoning around, I found a bed and breakfast about 3 miles out of town. The landlady drove in and met me and gave me a lift, but the actual bed and breakfast was really poor value. There was no meal available, but I borrowed the landlady's bike and cycled into town to eat at the Red Lion. It had been a long time since I was last on a bike, and it proved hard work. Cycling back in the dark without lights was a tad scary too.